You were taught to be polite, to smile when you don't mean it, to apologize for existing, to soften every word so no one feels uncomfortable. They called it respect. They called it kindness. They lied. What they actually did was hand you a knife and teach you to cut yourself with it. Every day. In every room. In front of everyone. And the worst part? You think it makes you good. It doesn't. It makes you invisible. Forgettable. Weak. And while you're bowing, someone else is taking the promotion. The girl. The respect. The room. You've been playing a game you didn't know you were losing. Until now. This is not about being rude. This is about understanding that politeness, as you were taught it, is a social weapon. And right now, it's pointed at your throat. There are 7 behaviors you perform every single day, behaviors that feel virtuous, that are quietly destroying every ounce of status you think you're building. And if you don't stop them immediately, you will spend the next decade wondering why no one listens when you speak. Why your opinions evaporate the moment you leave the room. Why people like you but never respect you. But here's the thing. Most men will watch this video and do nothing. They'll nod. They'll agree. And tomorrow they'll smile when they mean no. They'll apologize for someone else's mistake. They'll shrink. Again. Because confronting these habits requires something rare. It requires the ability to look at yourself without mercy. Without excuses. And that terrifies most people. So let me ask you directly. Are you most people? Or are you someone who subscribes to channels that tell you what you need to hear, not what makes you comfortable? If you're the latter, subscribe right now. Not later. Now. Because if you can't even commit to a button, how will you commit to changing the patterns that are suffocating your reputation? Don't just consume this. Decide that today is the day you stop being polite and start being powerful. Subscribe. Then keep watching. Because what comes next will make you angry at how long you've been doing this to yourself. Let me paint you a picture. You're in a meeting. Your manager asks who can stay late to fix a problem that isn't yours. It's the 3rd time this month. You're tired. You have plans. A life. But before you even think, your mouth opens and says yes, of course, no problem. Everyone nods. No one thanks you. This happens again on Friday. And the next Monday. You've become the man who can't say no. Not because you're kind. But because somewhere deep down, you're terrified that the word no will make people stop liking you. So you say yes. And every time you do, your reputation doesn't rise. It drops. Because people don't respect availability. They respect boundaries. And you just announced you have none. That's the first habit. Reflexive agreeability. The inability to say no without guilt. Without explanation. Without a paragraph of apologetic reasons. You think saying yes makes you a team player. It doesn't. It makes you a doormat with a salary. And here's the trap. It feels good in the moment. Someone asks, you provide. They smile, you feel useful. But useful is not the same as valued. Useful is what you call a tool. You pick it up. You use it. You put it down. No one promotes a tool. No one desires a tool. No one fears or admires a tool. They just expect it to work when they need it. Now think about the last time someone asked you for a favor. Did you pause? Did you consider your time, your energy, your priorities? Or did you answer in less than 2 seconds? If it's the latter, you're not being helpful. You're being predictable. And predictable men don't build reputations. They build patterns of being overlooked. Watch what happens when you say no. Just once. Cleanly. Without 18 sentences of justification. I can't. I have other priorities. Watch the slight confusion on their face. That confusion is respect trying to form. Because suddenly your time has weight. Suddenly, you're not free. You're expensive. And expensive things are treated with care. Comment below right now. Write the word boundary. Just that word. If you've ever said yes when you meant no, write it. Let that be your line in the sand. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. This isn't a suggestion. This is me telling you that your politeness is making you poor. In reputation, in respect, in results. And if you don't value the information enough to subscribe, you won't value yourself enough to change. Let's go deeper. Second habit. Apologizing for things that aren't your fault. You bump into someone who wasn't looking. You say sorry. Someone interrupts you mid-sentence. You say sorry for speaking. You send an email. It starts with sorry for bothering you. You exist in a perpetual state of preemptive guilt, as if your presence is an inconvenience that must be verbally neutralized at all times. This is not politeness. This is self-erasure. And every time you apologize for nothing, you train every person around you to see you as someone who should be sorry for existing. Here's what you don't realize. Apologies are currencies, and you're handing them out like a man printing monopoly money. When you apologize constantly, the words lose all meaning. So when you actually do something wrong, when a real apology is necessary, it carries no weight. Because you've devalued it. You've turned "I'm sorry" into a verbal tick. A filler sound. Meaningless. But worse than meaningless. Damaging. Because every unearned apology is a micro-submission. A tiny signal that says, "I am beneath you. I should not have been in your way. I should not have spoken. I should not have asked. I should be smaller." Imagine a courtroom where the defendant apologizes before the trial begins. Before any evidence. Before any accusation. What would you think? Guilt. Weakness. Lack of confidence. That's what people think when you apologize for things you didn't do. They don't think you're polite. They think you're unsure of your right to take up space. And uncertainty is repellent to respect. You want to know what powerful men do when someone bumps into them? Nothing. Or they nod. A tiny acknowledgement. No words. Because their presence is not an apology. It's a fact. And facts don't apologize. Try this tomorrow. Go an entire day without saying sorry unless you genuinely caused harm. Not inconvenience. Harm. Watch how hard it is. Watch how many times the word tries to climb out of your throat. That reflex is years of conditioning. Years of being told that your needs are secondary. That your voice is an interruption. That you should apologize for wanting anything. Break it. Replace sorry with thank you. Someone waits for you? Don't say sorry for being late. Say thank you for your patience. Someone listens to your idea? Don't say sorry for taking up time. Say thank you for hearing me out. One phrase submits. The other honors. Choose carefully. Write this in the comments. I will not apologize for existing. Write it. And if the idea of writing that makes you uncomfortable, that discomfort is exactly why you need to subscribe and keep watching. You've been uncomfortable in your own skin for years. It's time to make the world adjust to you, not the other way around. Third habit. Hiding your opinions until you know what everyone else thinks. You're in a conversation. Someone asks what you think about something. A movie. A policy. A decision at work. And before you answer, you pause. You glance around. You wait for someone else to speak first. Then you calculate. You measure. You craft your response based not on what you actually believe, but on what will cause the least friction. You think this makes you diplomatic. It makes you empty. A mirror with nothing behind it. People don't remember mirrors. They remember fire. Here's the knife. When you hide your opinion, you're not avoiding conflict. You're avoiding existence. Because your opinion is the only proof that you think independently. That you process the world through your own lens. When you wait to see what everyone else thinks, you're announcing that you don't trust your own judgment. And if you don't trust it, why should anyone else? The man who speaks first takes a risk. But he also takes the room. Even if he's wrong, he's alive. He's present. He's undeniable. You, waiting in the corner, sculpting your words for maximum safety? You're a ghost. And people feel this. They might not articulate it, but they sense it. The hesitation. The performance. The way you shapeshift depending on who's listening. That's not adaptability. That's dishonesty. Not the kind that gets you fired. The kind that gets you forgotten. Because no one trusts a man who has no edge. No sharp belief. No line he won't cross. You become beige. Comfortable. Safe. And safe is the opposite of memorable. Safe is what you choose when you've already given up on being chosen. Let me give you a recent example. Two men in a strategy meeting. The boss asks for input on a new direction. It's risky. Unclear. Man A waits. Watches. Sees others nod cautiously. He mirrors them. Agrees softly. Adds nothing. Man B speaks immediately. I don't think this will work. Here's why. He's clear. Confident. Even if he's wrong, he's now the man the boss remembers. Because he had a spine. 3 months later, Man B gets promoted. Man A wonders why he's still invisible. The answer? He's been invisible the entire time. And he trained everyone to see him that way. You want respect. Say what you think before it's safe. Before consensus forms. Before the room gives you permission. Your opinion spoken first is courage. Spoken last, it's decoration. And no one hangs medals on decoration. Drop a comment right now. Tell me one opinion you've been hiding at work or in your social circle. You don't have to say what it is. Just write, I have been hiding my voice. Let that confession be the beginning. And subscribe. Not because I need it. Because you do. You need the daily reminder that your voice has value. That you are not here to echo. You're here to speak. Fourth habit. Softening your language to avoid sounding too direct. You don't say I need this done by Wednesday. You say, hey, when you get a chance, could you maybe try to have this done around Wednesday, if that's possible, no pressure though. You don't say I disagree. You say I hear you, but maybe we could also consider that perhaps there's another angle we might want to think about possibly. You wrap every sentence in bubble wrap. You sand down every edge. You think it makes you likable. It makes you dismissible. This is called hedging. And it's a plague. Every time you add just or maybe or I think or kind of, you're diluting your message. You're telling the listener this might not matter. You're preemptively giving them permission to ignore you. And they will. Because you just told them to. Confident people don't hedge. They say what they mean. Clearly. Without apology. Without softening. And the world listens. Not because they're louder. But because they're definite. Watch how you text. How you email. Count the hedges. I just wanted to follow up. Maybe we could just try this. I think this might work. I was kind of hoping. Every single one of those phrases is a leak in your power. A tiny hole where your authority drains out. Now imagine the same messages without them. Follow up on this. We should try this. This will work. I need this. Feel the difference. One version sounds like a suggestion you can ignore. The other sounds like a decision you follow. Here's what happens when you stop hedging. People get uncomfortable. Because suddenly you're clear. And clarity forces response. It removes the fog they used to hide their indifference behind. Now they have to actually listen. Actually decide. Actually respect you or reveal that they don't. And that scares you. Because as long as you stay soft, you never have to face rejection. But you also never face respect. You live in the gray space where nothing bad happens and nothing good does either. That's not safety. That's slow death. Tomorrow, write one email, one text, one sentence in a meeting, with zero hedges, no softeners, no maybes, just clarity. Watch the response. Watch how people suddenly take you seriously. Not because you were rude, but because you were real. And reality has weight. Comment this. I will speak with clarity. Write it. And if you still haven't subscribed, I need you to ask yourself why. What part of you is protecting the old habits? What part of you wants to stay soft? Find that part. And suffocate it. Then subscribe. Fifth habit. Filling every silence with nervous talking. You're in an elevator. In a pause during conversation. in a moment after you've made a point. And the silence sits there, heavy, waiting, and you can't stand it. So you fill it. You add a joke, a clarification, a random observation, anything to kill the quiet. Because silence feels like failure, like disapproval, like everyone's judging the gap. So you talk, and talk, and talk, and with every word, you lose status. Silence is not empty. Silence is pressure, and pressure reveals power. The man who can sit in silence is the man who controls the room. Because silence makes people uncomfortable, and the first person to break it submits. You think you're being friendly by filling the gap. You're being weak. You're showing that you can't handle tension, that you need approval, that the quiet scares you more than looking desperate. And everyone sees it. Powerful people pause. They let their words land. They let the room sit with what was just said. They don't rush to the next sentence like they're afraid the last one wasn't enough. They know it was enough. And they let you feel it. That's the difference. You're sprinting through your thoughts. They're walking. Slowly. With weight. Every step deliberate. And people follow the one who walks with certainty, not the one running to keep up with his own anxiety. Here's a test. Next conversation, after you make a point, stop. Count to 3 in your head. Say nothing. Let the silence exist. Watch what happens. Either they respond with more attention, or they fill the gap themselves. Either way, you win. Because you're no longer the dancing monkey performing for scraps of validation. You're the stillness in the center. And stillness is magnetic. You know who talks constantly? People who are afraid you'll forget they exist the moment they stop. You know who's silent? People who know you can't forget them even if you tried. Be the second one. Comment below. Silence is power. Just those 3 words. And subscribe. Because every video on this channel is teaching you to take up space without apology. And if you're not subscribed, you're telling yourself you don't deserve that teaching. Prove yourself wrong. Click it. 6th habit. Letting people interrupt you without reclaiming your point. You're telling a story. Making a point. Mid-sentence, someone cuts you off. They start talking. And you just stop. You let it happen. You wait. You hope they'll notice. They don't. The conversation moves on. Your point dies in your throat. And you smile like it's fine. It's not fine. It's erasure. And you allowed it. Every time you let someone interrupt you and don't take back the floor, you teach them that your voice is optional. That your thoughts are background noise. That you can be spoken over without consequence. This happens in meetings, in friendships, in relationships. Someone cuts you off. You go quiet. They don't even realize it. Because you've taught them that cutting you off is acceptable. And it keeps happening. Over and over. Until you become the guy who starts sentences but never finishes them. The guy people talk over because he's always been easy to talk over. Here's what you do. The next time someone interrupts, you pause. You let them say one sentence. Then you calmly, clearly say, "Let me finish." Or "Hold on, I wasn't done." No aggression. No anger. Just facts. You were speaking. They interrupted. You're reclaiming your space. Most people will be startled. Because no one does this. Everyone just swallows the interruption and moves on. But you're not everyone. Not anymore. And here's the secret. The person who interrupts is often not trying to disrespect you. They're just used to you letting them. It's a pattern. You've trained them. Now you're retraining them. And the first time you do it, the dynamic shifts. Suddenly you're someone who doesn't vanish mid-thought. Someone who finishes what he starts. Someone whose words have a beginning, middle, and end. That's rare. And rare is respected. I've seen men lose career opportunities because they couldn't finish a single sentence in a pitch meeting. The client interrupted. They stopped. Someone else jumped in. The deal went elsewhere. Not because the idea was bad, but because the man presenting it didn't protect it. Didn't fight for it. Didn't calmly, Firmly say I'm not finished. And in that moment, the client learned everything they needed to know. This man won't fight for his ideas. Which means he won't fight for our account. Which means he's not the one. Stop vanishing mid-sentence. Your words deserve completion. And if you don't believe that, no one else will either. Write this. I will finish what I start. And subscribe if you haven't. Because the men who subscribe are the men who finish. The ones who commit. The ones who don't let the interruption win. Be that man. 7th habit. Prioritizing being liked over being respected. This is the root. The poison underneath every other habit. You want people to like you. It's human. It's natural. But you've made it your religion. Every decision, every word, every smile is a calculation aimed at one outcome. Don't upset anyone. Don't make waves. Be nice. Be safe. Be liked. And in that pursuit, you've sacrificed the only thing that actually builds a reputation. Respect. Here's the truth they didn't tell you. Respect and likability are not the same. Sometimes they overlap. Often they don't. The people you respect most in your life, are they the nicest? Or are they the ones with standards? With boundaries? With the ability to say no, to challenge you, to tell you the truth even when it stings? You respect them because they don't need you to like them. And that non-neediness is what makes them magnetic. You, on the other hand, need to be liked so badly that you've turned yourself into a caricature of agreeability. And it's killing you. Likability is cheap. It's easy to get. Smile. Agree. Laugh at jokes that aren't funny. Never challenge anyone. Congratulations. People like you. They also forget you the moment you leave. Respect is expensive. It costs comfort. It costs conflict. It costs the certainty that everyone will approve of you. But it buys something likability never will. It buys presence. Wait. The kind of reputation that makes people think of you when you're not in the room. The kind that gets you chosen. Promoted. Remembered. Think about your workplace. Who gets the projects? The likable guy who everyone enjoys at lunch? Or the guy who's a little sharp, a little challenging, but undeniably competent and unbothered by whether you smile when he walks by? It's the second one. Every single time. Because organizations don't promote based on who they'd want at a barbecue. They promote based on who they trust to handle pressure. To make hard calls. To be respected by clients, by competitors, by the market. And that person is never the one who spent his career making sure no one felt uncomfortable. You've been taught that being nice is the highest virtue. It's not. Being honest is. Being fair is. Being excellent is. Being nice is what you do when you have nothing else to offer. It's the participation trophy of human interaction. And if nice is your primary strategy, you're telling the world you're optional. Replaceable. A pleasant background character in someone else's story. Stop trying to be liked. Start trying to be undeniable. The former is a strategy for surviving. The latter is a strategy for dominating. And domination is not cruelty. It's excellence so consistent that people have no choice but to respect it. Even if they don't like it. Even if it makes them uncomfortable. Even if you didn't ask for their approval. Comment now. Respect over likability. And if you're still watching but haven't subscribed, you're lying to yourself. You're telling yourself you'll do it later. That you'll commit when it's more convenient. But that's the same lie you tell yourself every time you choose being liked over being respected. Break the pattern. Subscribe now. Decide that today you stop being pleasant and start being powerful. Let's bring this home. These 7 habits, they're not random. They're a system. A system you were taught. By parents who wanted you to behave. By teachers who wanted compliance. By a society that needs workers, not leaders. Agreeable people who don't question. Who apologize. Who wait for permission. Who soften their words. Who fill silence with nervousness. Who let themselves be interrupted. Who prioritize being nice above all else. That system created a version of you that fits. That doesn't disturb the order. That's easy to manage. But you're not here to be managed. You're here to build something. A career. A reputation. A life that doesn't require you to shrink. And that requires you to reject the politeness you were taught and replace it with something sharper. Not rudeness. Not cruelty. But precision. Clarity. Boundaries. The ability to say no. To stop apologizing. To speak first. To be direct. To sit in silence. To finish your sentences. To choose respect over the cheap comfort of being liked. This will cost you. Some people will stop liking you. The ones who benefited from your agreeability. The ones who got your time for free. The ones who interrupted you without consequence. They'll be confused. Maybe upset. Let them be. Because the people worth keeping will respect the change. They'll see you differently. They'll listen when you speak. They'll stop assuming you'll say yes. They'll start treating your time like it matters. Because you finally started treating it that way. You'll lose some comfort. Gain some tension. But tension is where growth lives. Comfort is where dreams go to die. You've been comfortable for too long. And it's made you soft. Predictable. Forgettable. Now it's time to become sharp again. Dangerous. Not to others. To mediocrity. To the version of yourself that bows when he should stand. That whispers when he should speak. That hides when he should be seen. I need you to understand something. This is not about becoming a different person. This is about shedding the performance. The politeness you wear like armor is actually a cage. You think it protects you. It suffocates you. And everyone outside the cage can see it. They see a man playing a role. A man who's afraid of his own power. A man who would rather be tolerated than celebrated. And they respond accordingly. With indifference. With casual disrespect. With the kind of treatment you give to someone who's always been there and always will be. But the moment you stop performing, the moment you set boundaries, speak clearly, hold silence, finish your thoughts, the entire dynamic changes. Because now you're scarce. Now you're expensive. Now your yes means something because you're capable of saying no. Your words land because they're not wrapped in apology. Your presence fills a room because you're not trying to shrink into the corner. And people notice. Not everyone will like it. But everyone will respect it. So here's your choice. You can close this video. Go back to your life. Keep saying yes when you mean no. Keep apologizing for existing. Keep hiding your opinions. Keep softening your words. Keep filling silences. Keep letting people talk over you. Keep prioritizing being liked. And in 5 years, you'll be exactly where you are now. Same position. Same salary. Same level of respect. Which is to say, none. Or you can decide that today is different. That this video was the line. The moment you stopped being polite and started being powerful. You can subscribe to this channel and commit to watching every single video like it's a manual for the man you're becoming. You can start commenting, engaging, holding yourself accountable in public. You can take one habit, just one, and kill it this week. Watch what happens. Watch how people's eyes change when you say no without explaining yourself. Watch how meetings shift when you stop hedging. Watch how conversations bend toward you when you stop filling every silence with noise. And then take the next habit. And the next. Until the old version of you, the one who thought politeness was virtue, is gone. Replaced by a man who understands that respect is not given for being nice. It's earned by being undeniable. By having standards. By protecting your time, your voice, your presence like they're sacred. Because they are. The world is not waiting for another agreeable man. It's overstocked. What it's starving for is men who know what they want and aren't afraid to say it. Men who can sit in tension without breaking. Men who finish what they start. Men who value respect over comfort. The market for that man is infinite. The demand is endless. But the supply is rare. Because most men are too afraid to pay the cost. The cost of being disliked by people who don't matter. The cost of standing alone until the right people find you. The cost of short-term discomfort for long-term dominance. You've already paid a cost. Years of being overlooked, interrupted, taken for granted, smiled at but never chosen. That's the cost of politeness. And it's bankrupted your reputation. Now it's time to invest differently. In boundaries. In clarity. In the kind of presence that doesn't beg for approval because it doesn't need it. Write one more thing in the comments. Tag someone who needs to hear this. Or write the habit you're killing first. Make it public. Because private commitments are easy to break. Public ones have weight. And you need weight right now. You've been floating for too long. Drifting wherever the current of other people's expectations took you. Now it's time to anchor. To decide. To become the kind of man people remember not because he was nice, but because he was real. Subscribe if you haven't. Not for me. For you. Because every time you see a new video drop, it's a reminder. A reinforcement. A voice in the algorithm telling you to stay sharp. To not slip back into the old patterns. To keep building the reputation you were too polite to claim before. This is not the end. This is the beginning. The moment you stop destroying yourself with kindness and start building yourself with truth. The 7 habits are dead. Now bury them. And step into the room like you were always supposed to. Not as the nicest man there, but as the one no one can ignore. You've been polite long enough. Now be powerful.